Good morning. Now we are studying the secondary group flight control surface. Our topic for today is secondary group flight control surface. Now, the secondary group flight control surface are number one, flap, second, slats, slots, spoilers, and speed brakes. These all are secondary group flight control surface. So aircraft have secondary group flight control surface, which are number one, flaps, second, slats, next, slots, next, spoilers, next, speed brakes. See, this is an example of Boeing 737-800 aircraft, in which here it's a leading edge flap, here it's a flight spoiler, here it is ground spoiler, here it is leading edge flap, and here it is slats. These all are secondary group flight control surface. So Boeing 737 aircraft consists of trailing edge flap, leading edge flap, slats, flight spoilers, and ground spoilers as a part of secondary group flight control surface. Now, again, a secondary group flight control surface may be divided into two subgroups. These are number one, first one said to be lift augmentation devices. Better we can say they are also called high lifting devices. Their primary purpose is to provide lift. They are lift augmentations devices. They provide good lift. That's why they said to be lift augmentation devices oblique high lifting devices. They are flap, slots, and slats. So flap, slots, and slats, they are said to be lift augmentation devices oblique high lifting devices. Second, lift decreasing devices oblique drag inducing devices. The devices whose primary purpose is to decrease the lift or induce the more drag. They are said to be speed brakes and spoilers. So secondary group flight control surface, again they are further divided into two groups. One is known as the high lifting devices, oblique lift augmentation devices. So high lifting oblique lift augmentation devices are flaps, slots, and slats. The drag inducing devices, oblique lift decreasing devices, which are speed brakes and spoilers. Now we are studying the flap. So flap is basically, it is a lift augmentation devices. Basically, first flap is a secondary group flight control surfaces. Again, flap is lift augmentation devices. Flap is high lifting devices, which is fitted into the aircraft. So we can define flap like that. Flap are essentially moving wing section which increase wing camber and therefore angle of attack. In addition to that, the flap will increase the wing effective area. So this is the definition of a flap. Flaps are essentially the moving wing section. These are the movable devices which increase the wing camber. Once the wing camber will get increased, it will produce the larger lift, and angle of attack will also get increased. In addition to that, when flap will get deployed, wing frontal area will also get increased. That means the flap will increase the lift. Dependent on type and complexity, flap system are capable of increasing coefficient of lift by up to approximately 90% of the wing clean wing value. So once the flap will get fully deployed, flap is capable of increase coefficient of lift around 90% of the clean wing value. These are the advantage of a flaps. So in this picture, this is the flap. Cessna 172. This is the example of Cessna 172. This aircraft belongs to Cessna 172 aircraft. So Cessna 172 aircraft has one wing flap, another wing flap. So this is the flap which is located at the trailing edge of the wing towards wing root, that we can say towards inboard portion. Flaps are attached towards inboard portion. Flaps are greatly increase the drag on wing, thus slowing the aircraft down. This is the primary purpose of flap. Flap will greatly increase the drag on the wing, thus slowing the aircraft down. So basically, flap will increase the lift as well as increase the drag also. That's why flap can be used at the time of takeoff also, at the time of landing also. So flap has two primary aims. One is to provide extra lift during takeoff, and second, to provide greater lift as well as high drag during landing. So flap is a device which can be used during takeoff and landing. But at a time of takeoff, flaps are partially deployed. Once the flap are partially deployed, which will increase the lift. Also, flap will give the drag, but that drag is overcome by the thrust. While on the landing, they are fully deployed for the maximum effect. So there is a two position. Now, as per conclusion, we can have the two position. During takeoff, flap is partially deployed. That partial deployment of the flap will increase the lift. Yes, drag will get produced, but that will overcome by thrust. Now, at the takeoff time, engine will provide the maximum thrust. So, drag produced by the deployment of the flap, it will overcome by the thrust. While at the time of landing, the flap will get fully deployed. Lift will also get produced by the deployment of the flap, but will get the maximum drag, which will helpful to slow the aircraft during landing time. This is the greatest advantage of a flap which used during the landing time. So now first position, the takeoff time flap are partially deployed, and at landing time flap are fully deployed. Now this is an again example of the deployment of flap and non-deployment of flap. Now, first figure we are looking here, the flap is up. So, once the flap is getting up, now the wing has small camber. Now, if the wing has a small camber, so that aircraft requires larger angle of attack to support the aircraft on that level flight. Now, once the flap is getting down, what will happen? The wing camber area is get increased. Now aircraft will maintain the smaller angle of attack. That is the generally advantage of a flap. Once will increase the camber area, we require to maintain the smaller angle of attack during flying of an aircraft. So by making the conclusion of this two diagram, we have come to one conclusion. Extending flap reduce the aircraft stall speed because the wing create more lift with the flap down. Hence, there is no need to as much angle of attack to balance the force of flight. So it's a great advantage. Now, once the flap is kept fully deployed, it reduces the aircraft stall speed. Some more point on the flap. This is again the flap of a transport category aircraft. Now we'll go for some more important point of a flap, that extending flap increase lift as well as induce drag as well. Now, if the flap will get extended, this flap will get extended, it will increase lift. Yes, it will increase the camber area. Definitely, it will increase the lift, but by a cost of more induced drag. The aircraft use takeoff flap setting that are roughly between 5 to 15 degrees. So, as per point, flap is partially deployed during takeoff. That takeoff flap setting is 5 to 15 degrees. Now, at the time of landing, the flap setting would roughly between 25 to 40 degrees. So these are the two positions of a flap. The time of takeoff, flap position would be 5 to 15 degrees roughly. But when the aircraft will go for landing approach, the flap position will be at 25 to 40 degrees. Now come to next slide. Operation of the flap. Flap can be operated by the three mechanism. Number one, by simple mechanical methods, in which we'll use the push-pull rod or control cable. The flap will actuated with the control cable mechanism. For that, we should have a lever into the cockpit. The lever will operated from the cockpit. Now, flap will get deployed. So this is a very older mechanism. Nowadays, it is not used in any aircraft. Some older aircraft have this mechanism. So number one, it's a simple mechanism, operation of the flap by simple mechanism by push-pull rod or control cable. The flap will actuated with the control cable via lever available into the cockpit. Second, electrically, we have electrical actuator. Now, it will control through the cockpit. There must be a switch, there must be a lever. Lever will get operated. Now, lever will give a signal to the electrical actuator, and flap is linked with that electrical actuator, and finally, given degree setting, flap will get extended. Flap is also operated hydraulically. If the flap is operated hydraulically, but it will be controlled electrically. So now these are the three modes of operation. There are three methods of operation of a flap. Flap can be operated by simple mechanism, simple mechanical push, simple mechanical method, that is by the push-pull rod or control cable actuation. Flap can be operated electrically, and flap can be operated hydraulically, but it will control electrically. So this is a generally lever of a flap of transport category aircraft, in which this is the position is marked here. This is a lever. Now lever will give command. That lever is electrically controlled, and finally this will give a command. This will give an electrical signal, and that electrical signal will open the hydraulic, operate the hydraulic actuator for desired degree movement of a flap. So this belongs to transport category aircraft. This is the simple lever for lighter category aircraft, which is nothing, which is a switch, electrical switch. Now, if flap will operated required to operate 10 degree, this switch will place to 10 degree. Now, actuator will operate and place the aircraft corresponding 10 degree position. Now we'll go some more point on flap. This is in this figure. This is a flap. Now flap is get deployed in transport category aircraft. That both inboard and outboard flap are getting deployed. You can see the animation here. So flap is a high lift device hinge on inboard trailing edge of the wing. Flap can be controlled from cockpit and when not in use, fit smoothly into the lower surface of the wing. Flaps increase the camber of the wing and therefore the lift of the wing, making it possible for the speed of the aircraft to be decreased without stalling. Flaps are primarily used during takeoff and landing. That's a very important point. Flaps are primarily used during takeoff and landing. Again, this is a flap. The flap are usually constructed of material and with techniques used on other aerofoil like wing, like aileron, like elevator. So flap can be constructed by using the same techniques as compared to the techniques which choose to construct the other aerofoil. Generally, material of the flap is aluminum alloy, aluminum skin. The aluminum alloy are basically used to construct the flap. Some aircraft flap may be made of composite construction, composite material. So basically, we can say a flap can be constructed with the aluminum alloy or composite material. The techniques used is similar to the techniques which is used to construct any other aerofoil section. Now, this is an example of flap. Now, flap is getting extended, which create the camber surface, which change the curvature of the wing. That changing the curvature of wing will provide the maximum lift as well as maximum drag also. So the drag is nothing, it is known as the induced drag. Flap will give the lift by the cost of maximum induced drag. So this is a comparison of the aircraft which has flap, the aircraft which do not have flap. The aircraft which have flap, they can fly with the small, very less speed. The speed of that aircraft can be less. So this aircraft has flap. Now, time of landing, it can fly slow as compared to this aircraft which has no flap. Now, landing of this aircraft will get smoother as compared to this. Now, these are the position of a flap. 0 degree flap up, neutral. This is a neutral position of a flap. Now, 8 degree, the takeoff first position. 15 degree, takeoff second position. 25 degree, landing first position. 40 degree landing second position. So these are the flap lever basically, which is used in transport category aircraft. This is a lever of a flap. Now lever will, placing the lever at corresponding degree, flap will operate at certain. Some aircraft have flap indicators also. Now we can see the gauge. Now what is the position of a flap basically. Again, this is a picture of a flap. Large transport category aircraft will incorporate more than one flap located on inboard and outboard section of the wing. One is known as the inboard flap and second is known as the outboard flap. As per need, the both flap can be extended. When both flap can be extended, Now we'll get the maximum lift. The stall speed will decrease further. Aircraft will get slower easily once the both flap can be extended. These are the type of flaps available. Now plain flap, split flap, jab flap, collar flap, slotted flap, slotted collar flap, triple slotted flap, leading edge flap. This leading edge flap again comes in two category. One is known as the droop leading edge flap, that's also known as droop snort, and second is a Kruger flap. So plain, split, jab, collar, slotted collar flap, triple slotted flap, these all are known as trailing edge flap. But droop leading edge flap, this is also known as a droop snort, and Kruger flap, these are known as the leading edge flap. So now basically we can say flap can be classified in two groups. One is known as trailing edge flap, and second is known as the leading edge flap. The trailing edge flap, these are plain flap, split flap, jab flap, collar flap, slotted collar, triple slotted flap. These all are known as the trailing edge flap. Their location is to trailing edge of the wing. And we can say inward section of a wing towards root. The flap position, flap will attach with the trailing edge of the wing, basically, and leading edge flap, they attach to the leading edge of the wing. Now we'll study the other different types of flap in next lecture. Thank you.